Hi class, this is Professor Tony Kurzman. This video is to help you walk you through the WileyPlus registration. And so as you can see, we're starting off in Blackboard here. We're in the ENGR3110A Thermodynamics and Energetics Summer 2016. From here, registration for WileyPlus is very easy. The key here is that we're not going to WileyPlus.com because that's sort of a totally separate path, and in fact you wouldn't be able to register for this course unless you go through Blackboard. So keep that in mind. The easiest thing to do is we'll go ahead and click on, so in this case click on week 1, and we can click on any of these WileyPlus links. All of these links won't bring you to, let's say, the reading or the assignment yet until we sign up. But now if we go ahead and click on one of these links, you'll see it'll bring us to a WileyPlus page where we do not have a registration code, but we want to purchase instant access to WileyPlus. And all you need is the instant access only. You don't have to worry about this loose leaf. So this is the online version of the book. It will also give you access to all of the homeworks. So let's go ahead and click Add to Cart. And then from there it's going to bring us to this page where we have basically, it tells us how much that costs, $87.50, and we have two options, right? The first is if we are already a WileyPlus, if we have a WileyPlus account, we can log on, which I'm guessing that most of the students do not have one already. So we can go ahead and click Create Account, and so from here you can see the book Fundamentals of Engineering Thermodynamics 6th edition. We can put in our information, name, email address, choose a password. We'll have to put in our billing address, phone number. I guess we don't have a promotional code. Unfortunately, I can't continue from here, but from there it's going to ask you for your credit card or debit card information to pay for the $87.50. And then from there, it's going to ask you, it's going to give you a screen that looks similar to this, right? So it's going to have some user privacy information. It'll ask you either I agree to share my user information with WileyPlus or I do not agree. Really, I just tell students to do the I do not agree. There's no reason to share it. I guess the only reason is to have easier access if you, in the event of needing WileyPlus's help. I've used the WileyPlus help pretty frequently, and you can simply call them and they'll ask you for your name and email address and things. So I personally just always click on the second option. You can go ahead and hit Launch, and then from there it kind of takes you through the sort of license agreement, right? So you'll go ahead and read through there, hit Accept, and you should be good to go. You should be ready to start clicking on. Let me get out of this. Let me exit out of the student preview. So you should be able to, once you finish that registration process, you should be able to click on week 1, and we'll go ahead and click on the first tab. Oops, let me close this. And so the first tab will bring you to your first reading assignment, right? And so you can begin to click through the sections for chapter 1. There's some study guide, exercises, things like that. And I'll show you what the homework problems look like as well. So homework Number 1, Chapter 1, you can see there are some problems. So there are 6 problems in this case. These are calculation problems, right? So an object has a mass of 10 pounds, determine its weight. So you'll do your calculations. You'll write down your calculations. You'll put your solution here, and you'll be able to see if your answer is correct immediately. And then your written calculations that you will turn in to me in class. These directed feedback questions are more, conceptual things, right? So they'll ask you a question and you have to answer it correctly, and those are just to make sure you understand the reading. When you do the homework assignment, there are a few things to keep in mind, and I'll go over this a little bit more when we go into lectures. I have what I call a 4-step methodology. You may have had something similar in other classes. I ask you to write out each step. So step number 1 is listing your knowns, right? And this is only for the calculation problems. I should have mentioned that earlier. So writing out your knowns. So for instance, in this case, I know that the mass is 10 pounds. I know that the gravitational constant is 32 feet per second squared. Those are my knowns. what I'm looking to find is the weight in pound force of that 10-pound mass, right? So that's what I'm looking to find. That would be step 2. So step 1 is write down the knowns. Step 2 is write down what you're looking to find. Step 3 is to draw a schematic of the, in this case, we don't really know what the object is. You could just draw a circle if you like, but draw a schematic and label any parts of the schematic. So maybe you draw a circle and you put 10 pounds inside the circle, showing that object has a mass of 10 pounds, right? So schematic, and then the final part is the analysis. So the analysis is your calculations. So you'll go through and write down your equations, and then you'll plug in the values into the equations, and your final solution, the one that you would submit here into WileyPlus, I would like for you to box that answer. So draw a box around the answer so that when I grade your written work, I know what your final solution is. And that's about it for WileyPlus registration and a brief overview of the homework assignments.